G'day guys! A new custom launcher for the GB300 and SF2000 handhelds was just released. Since this is just a new custom launcher, and is still based on the existing multi-core custom firmware, there's no performance increase in any games, and to use this you do already need to be running version 2 stock firmware with multi-core installed on top. The main selling point with this is the fact you can just drag and drop games into the appropriate ROMs folder on the SD card, similar to most other handhelds, and no longer need to run something like GB300 tool or the multi-core scripts to add games. We'll quickly go over how to download and install this new launcher, and then we'll jump right in and take a look at some of the new features. We're over on our Windows 11 PC now, and to get started we just need to download the new FrogUI files. I've just opened up Google Chrome and gone to the initial release post over on Reddit. From here we'll click the download link to take us to the GitHub page. I will put a direct link to this GitHub page down in the description below. So as you can see, even though this was only released yesterday, there's already been an update to it, which is awesome. On the releases page, we're going to scroll down a little bit, expand assets, just click on the little arrow, and you just want to download the correct version for your handheld. So if you have the GB300, download the GB300 version, and obviously SF2000 for the SF2000 handheld. It is interesting to see that the GB300 is almost twice the size of the SF2000 build. I wonder why that is. Once you've downloaded the correct version for your handheld, you can close off Chrome and open up your downloads folder. Inside you should have a 7-zip archive. I believe newer versions of Windows 11 does have 7-zip archive support built in, but if you're using an older version, you will need to download and install 7-zip yourself. You can get it from 7-zip.org. With that said, we want to extract the archive, just right click on it. If you're on Windows 11, go down to show more options. And as mentioned, you can just click extract all using the built-in archiver, but I always like to use 7-zip. So just go down to 7-zip and extract to. With that extracted, we want to insert the SD card from our GB300. Now at the moment, there's no way to uninstall the new FrogUI once you've installed it, so I would recommend making a full SD card backup. Thankfully, making a full backup for the GB300 and SF2000 is super easy. There's no special boot partitions, so you can just simply copy and paste all the files to a folder on your PC. So I've copied everything here. Let's go back to our downloads folder, for example, make a new folder. I'll call it GB300 back, and just paste it in here, Control V. Once you've made a full backup of your SD card, just in case anything goes wrong, then you're ready to install FrogUI. To do that, just open up the FrogUI folder we extracted, copy everything, so Control A and Control C, go over to our SD card, and simply click paste in here. It'll ask you if you want to replace the files already in the destination. Make sure you click yes. It's worth noting, as with all of these releases, there's no ROMs included, so you will have to add your own. We'll go over how to do that shortly. Once everything's finished copying, FrogUI is installed. So the next step will be to add our games. For this video, we'll just add an NES game, to keep it simple. So go to where your games are. For me, it's just one game. You would copy game system by system. So if you wanted to copy entire collections over, do it one system at a time. For example, NES first, and then once they've finished copying, move over to Game Boy Color, and so on. So we'll just copy our game, Control C, go back to our SD card, open up the ROMs folder, and these are all of the custom multi-core systems that we can run using FrogUI. So just go down to the correct system you want to copy to. For me, it's NES. There it is. And just paste it in here. That's pretty much it. We'll safely eject our SD card and take a look around the new FrogUI launcher. So with FrogUI installed, when you first power on the handheld, you'll be taken to this FrogUI screen. Since this is still based on the stock firmware, and it's not an entirely new OS, you do still have to manually load FrogUI from here. Interestingly, if you press start on this menu, it does open up arcade games. So it seems like they've hijacked the stock arcade menu entry. If you do accidentally press start, just press select to go back to the main menu. If you press down, you do still have the old stock settings. We won't change anything here though, instead we'll go back to FrogUI and press A to actually launch it. You do have to do this every time. Thankfully, it doesn't take too long to launch, only around 5 seconds, so that's not too bad. And this is the new custom launcher. As you can see, it's very simple, very plain, all text-based. You can press L and R to jump pages, which is awesome. But the best part about this menu is if you press right on the D-pad, it brings up a quick jump menu. So let's say we wanted to play some Game Boy games, go over to G and just press A, and it jumps straight down to G, which by default, Game Boy's the first. You can press select on this main menu to bring up some settings. There's an SF2000 screen tearing fix, the RGB clock, not too sure what that is. It looks like you can modify the screen resolution, so horizontal and vertical. I believe that's what that is. You got different scaling modes, show FPS, the FrogUI font, so that's this font here, and the theme. So as you can see, it is using the MinUI theme, and if you weren't already aware, my MinUI is a popular minimalist OS for higher end handhelds. We can change it, might go orange and press A to save, and sure enough, it did change the theme on the fly. I do really like that. Commodore 64, I like that as well, that's pretty cool. Game Boy theme, not too bad either. We might just change it back to default for the rest of the video though. So there is some customization to be had, which is awesome. So that's pretty much it for the main menu. If we go into a system like NES, You've got your games list. Now in the FrogUI docs, it does mention it supports thumbnails in the RGB 565 format. I have had a play around trying to get thumbnails to show up. As you can see here, I do have a matching image name. It is in the correct headerless RGB 565 format, but the thumbnail doesn't show up. It is possible I've done something wrong, but I believe if the thumbnail system was working, then this RGB 565 extension file should have been hidden. So I think it may actually be broken in this initial release. If I do end up getting thumbnails working in the future, I'll definitely make a quick guide on how to do it yourself. With that said, we'll load our game. You just select it from the menu, press A. Once again, it does still use the same custom multicore, so there's no performance increases, and the features are identical. You get the same splash screen and it loads straight into the game. So nothing too much to see in-game, but if you press start and select, it does bring up a slightly different pause menu. So we can resume, obviously. There's no longer a quit option, instead it says reset. And if we select that, it resets the system, similar to pressing the reset button on an original NES. So that is interesting. There's also a save and load state option, as you would expect, but unfortunately these are broken at the moment. If I save state, I'll make a few of them. So I've got 3 save states now. I'll go back to resume. We'll just press start on the menu. So we've got a different screen now. If I bring up the pause menu once more, go down to load, you can see all of the saves are gone. I'll try and load them, but nothing happens. So it's not a visual glitch, they just currently don't work. That is a bit unfortunate, but they do know about this save issue, so hopefully it is fixed in future releases. So since there's no longer a quit option, how do we get out of a game? Unfortunately, you do have to power cycle the whole handheld. So power it off, power it back on, let it finish booting up, and then load FrogUI once more. And then finally, you can pick your next game. At the very top of the systems list, you'll notice recent games, favorites, and random game. So recent games is a really nice touch. You can see all the games that I've tested on here. Ghosts and Goblins, Action Man, a couple of Game Boy games. Interestingly, this list is really slow to navigate. If I press up, look how long the delay is. It's almost like a 1 or 2 second delay. I'm not too sure why that is, but it is worth mentioning. It says pressing select brings up the options menu, but there are no options for this, at least not at the moment. We'll just press B to go back. We've got a favorites menu. This is different to the stock OS favorites list. I do have a few games favorited on there, and none of them have showed up. Pressing select also does nothing here. And there's a random game option. I'm guessing this does select a random game from the handheld. I do have around 5,000 or 6,000 games on here, so we'll press it and see what happens. It's tried to load Mega Man 2 RGB 565, which obviously isn't a ROM. So that is interesting. It's obviously never going to load. It is just a raw image. And if I press start and select, does nothing, so the system has hung. I'm guessing that's just another bug, as this should hopefully be hiding the image thumbnails that we've added. We will have to power cycle it once more to get back to the games list. If we go to a folder where I have thousands of games, so Game Boy, we can see they do all show up. On the first version of this FrogUI launcher, only the first 256 showed up, but thankfully that issue has been fixed in version 1.1. So with a little over 1,000 games, it is actually a little bit slow to navigate this list. If I press up, you can see there is a 1 or 2 second delay. Pressing L and R, you can jump pages, but again, it does take around 1 second to refresh. Thankfully, you do still have the quick navigation by pressing right on the D-pad. So say I wanted to play Pokemon, select P, press A, jump straight down to P, and from here, I'd only have to jump a few pages. There we go. I believe this new launcher may be written using the new JavaScript 2000 core, which is pretty cool, since again, before the JS 2000 core was made available, this wouldn't have been possible. Interestingly, pressing start and select on the main FrogUI menu brings up the usual save and load state menu, but here, save and load states actually work. So I can create a third save state, go back to resume, I might go in the flashback menu, and we'll load a state. It should take us back to the main menu. It doesn't. So the states sort of work in the main menu. You can create them and they don't disappear. So I can override it and they are still there, but loading them does nothing. That doesn't really affect anything. I just thought it was worth mentioning. Overall, it's really neat to see a custom launcher for the GB300 and SF2000 handhelds, and that things are still being made for them. It was always a massive pain trying to navigate the stock menus, especially if you had thousands of games in there. So I really love the quick jump feature on the new FrogUI launcher. Being able to press right on the D-pad and select a game letter really speeds things up. Having said that, with the current save state issues, I wouldn't recommend going out and installing this as your daily driver just yet, but since it is only 1 day old, I think it's fair to expect some issues. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this project goes in the future. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.